was 19 at the time.
So this is before you knew.
Yes.
Claimed before you knew.
Literally. Like, we did it twice, and it was literally before Christmas.
My Facebook's private.
That's disgusting.
It is. I regret it.
I'm disgusted.
I'm disgusted in myself.
I need to make
That
coffee.
is freaking gross. Literally.
Oh my god.
You got 2 legs.
The internet thinks you're still getting with teenage boys. What's the truth?
I can't even
So,
get
no,
to the
I
coffee.
don't, like I said.
Guys, they're not in their teens. They're in their early 20s.
Literally, they're already out of their teen years.
Yeah. They're not children. They're adolescents.
I want I don't know how my husband makes it.
It sounds so bad. Okay.
Max, I hope that you're good. It's a little weird. It's really weird. Please buy her children some nice shit, okay? They're great kids.
Max is amazing.
They're amazing. Good kids. What about Max?
They're all amazing.
What is the most shameless thing you've ever done for TikTok Club?
The shameless thing.
Like the most reckless thing you've ever done for TikTok Club?
I know it's on this.
You think that brought you clout? I mean, I think it did too.
The first time we ever met, yes.
Okay.
It did. We had 300,000 views on my live, and we had almost 100 million likes.
The worst mom on TikTok, Ash Trevino, full podcast
At least we're growing.
Yeah.
If TikTok
with Camilla
tomorrow,
on
how would
YouTube.
you make money? What's your plan B?
I have other socials that I'm working on right now.
Okay.
And I have other
So you still-
collabs coming up.
Okay, care to link a collab that you have coming up?
Not good. I mean, it's a YouTube video, so...
Oh shit! Not me breaking the.
Okay, just know this. There's going to be 2 quality guys.
It's gonna be on OnlyFans. That's her first video on OnlyFans. You went in deep.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say. They got to wait for the rest.
TikTok users claim you've monetized poor parenting by drinking heavily and possibly driving under the influence while your children are present. How do you respond to these very serious accusations?
Okay, so,
And why are they assuming this?
okay, because there is times where they think that I'm out and I'm drinking. But of course, now I don't go live really. Unless
So you
I'm
just
at
drink and
home.
drive without going live?
No, I don't. Like,
Okay.
I told you that if I'm going to, like, say I'm going to my cousin's to go drink, my mom or my dad will pick me up or drop me off in my car.
Okay.
And then my kids aren't with me. And
So why would they assume this? Why is this an assumption? Why are these accusations?
that one actually came from, I was at a restaurant for my cousin's birthday. And literally, this was in August. And they literally had the police waiting outside because they said I was drinking and driving. I was not drinking and driving. I was literally with my cousin. I don't, like, they just think every time I'm driving, I guess I'm drunk. I have no idea.
Okay.
I've never drank and drive with my kids.
I hope you wouldn't drink and drive.
No. I wouldn't because why would I risk the chance of losing them
And money.
when I'm all they have?
Just kidding.
When I'm all they have.
Yeah.
You know, and...
Yeah. Have a good day. Have fun with the birthday party. Happy birthday to whoever it is.
Okay, so don't do that. If that's something you've ever done, that's also disgusting behavior. Reports suggest that your daughters were initially raised by your mother due to complaints to Child Protective Services. How do you address concerns about your parenting that led to such actions?
Okay, so my kids literally were not raised by my mom.
Thank you for the 1.1K likes, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Literally, CPS just got involved back in, I want to say, September. And they were getting so many calls that...
Because of TikTok Live, you
Yes. And I was tired of it. So I told my mom, you know what, keep them until this goes away. And they were still making calls, false accusations, saying this, saying that.
And has Child Protective Services come and...
They've interviewed me.
Okay.
But they said there's no reason. They even told my parents there's no reason to take them from their mom. Their mom is not an unfit parent.
Bye. Have a good day.
Case that we've had, and they would, yeah, they would.
Because I think maybe you just portray a lot of things online, and so it allows people to be very judgmental.
Yeah. So again, they only see bits and pieces of it. They don't see me from morning to night. They only see an hour or 2 hours or 30 minutes of my life. And with that being said, my kids have never been in harm's way. I've never given my kids any type of they shouldn't have. There was even rumors that my kids were pregnant. They weren't. They're not. I had even taken a drug test, and I passed it because of CPS. Back in December or January, beginning of January, CPS asked me. They came over my house and they see my house, and they asked me, "Would you be willing to take a drug test?" I said, "Yeah, why not? I'm not scared. I have nothing to hide. I don't do drugs. I'm not that type of person." And so I went that next day, and I took it, and they got the answers a couple weeks ago because it took so long. I don't know why. It's because they sent it off. It was a urine sample, and so yeah, they've closed that case too. That was the last one that I know of. Okay. But now they can't come to me because they have to go to my legal.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I have an attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Period. Budget. You got budget. Yeah. You have a very messy personality and a very messy personal life, and I really hate that your kids have been brought into it because they shouldn't know about any of this.
Literally.
And they should not know about. They don't even know about how you're new. They don't even know anything, and the fact that this is brought up to them is not okay. Like, that is not okay. Your kids should not know about anything about CPS. Like, when some kids, like CPS shows up, they don't even know CPS shows up. Like, I hope you do see that. I really hope you see
and
that.
And that's the thing. Like, if you ask the girls, they will tell you that they're tired of it.
As they should be, though, because it's ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
But even though, like, sometimes, like, your behaviors, like, as a mom, like, yes, I am a very strong advocate for, like, I don't talk about it often, but, like, women, when we have...
All right, dude. Go trip over a knife.
Differentiate a mother, being a mother, and then being also a woman for her partner, for her husband, for herself. And I feel like you really mix those two, and it became really messy for everyone, for the public, for your children. Like, you need to take care of yourself as a woman very independently than how you would take care of yourself and present yourself as a mother. And I think that this is where everything went to shit, because now it's publicized to 300,000 people or more.
Yeah, but then again,
because people make mistakes.
Yeah,
I get that. I'm not sitting here saying, you're going to hell and you're a piece of shit person, but you have done a very poor job of separating the two to the public eye, because they shouldn't have that much power over you. The public should never have that much power over you to be able to sit here and basically attack your every move. And that sucks. It does.
It sucks. Like,
and I hope that I hope that your kids are enough of a reason for maybe to dial back a bit, or just not go live and understand that. Or, like, I hope this doesn't affect them later. I'm same with me though. I don't have kids now, but what do you do with kids? You don't think they're gonna look at me and be like, "Mom, what are you doing on OnlyFans?" That's something that I consciously know. You didn't have kids. That'll happen. You got these children that are incredible. You guys are great. And I don't know. I think that that's why people would call you an unfit mother. I think there is basis as to why someone would call you an unfit mother. Do you see why?
But that's the thing. Also, people don't realize they only came into my life very
recently.
Yes.
Right.
So they don't know how it was to raise my
kids.
But
even in that small, short of time, they formulated such a massive opinion. How does that not hurt your feelings?
It doesn't get to me because of the fact that I know what type of mother I am, and my kids will tell me every day, "You're not a bad mom." People are just being ugly and rude.
I know people come at...
Yeah, and they're like...
But you do have to take some accountability for something.
Yeah, and I understand that. But again, when I'm at home drinking by myself, it shouldn't matter what my parenting is because my kids are not there. Or if they are there, they are in their own room, on their phones with their friends, or in the living room watching a movie, and I'm not even online.
Yeah, but 100%. And I think people do that on a day-to-day basis. They're just not public figures. Like, people's parents come home from work and they have a glass of wine and they might get a little fucked up on a Friday night, but they're not public figures. They don't have a following. There's no one there to judge them on what they do.
And again, that's why I wish my life was back to where it was, because
y'all heard it. Stop making her famous.
Like, I hate the chaos. I hate it so much. I do.
All right, dude. Go trip over a knife.
Next question.
Hey, thanks for the follow. I'm okay. How are you?
So I can show you that picture. They actually edited that. I have it on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, they literally edited. Yeah, they did that. I didn't never post that. It's a fake account that posted that.
This isn't real.
No, it's not. Look, I have the actual picture.
This last thing, by the way. I just needed to know what the fuck this was.
Okay, so these are all the pictures. So that one is right here.
Okay, show the camera. The picture I'm currently holding in my hand is a nude photo from that I guess was edited from this picture. That's just sick and weird.
And it's the same exact picture. Look at that. Same exact.
Yeah, that was absolutely wild.
Somebody's fake account took that picture like this and edited it to make it seem like
just take the picture from edited. Goes on.
It's crazy. If I was to post a picture like that, trust me, I have plenty of those.
Oh, you sent him to Santos. About Max. Have you ever FaceTimed him frisky with him on the phone?
Max, no.
Santos.
Santos, no.
Your prison inmates.
Yes. Well, they're on the phone and then I'm like, yeah, we do that.
A little phone. And the rose toy. I just got you one. Well, if you're gonna use it, make sure you use it with your future husband. Save it.
Yeah, I gotta
with Max. Max. Yeah. Well, Max, you're welcome for the new toy. I hope you don't have premarital sex. Guys, that is Ashley Trevino for you. Her chaotic life. Listen, do better.
I am.
Oh, sorry.
Coming out here, you've been hilarious. This is the most. I feel like I'm keeping up with the Kardashians. I feel like this is the I wish you nothing but happiness, and I hope that you do better for everyone in your life, and create more positivity.
I am. With the following, I have actually, I've wanted to change my following,
Just kind of rebrand.
Yeah, one of my friends, Heather, that I'm always talking to online.
The New Yorker.
Yeah,
she's funny. I love her.
She literally helps me out a lot, whenever
she grabs your shit.
She does, and whenever I was going,
I don't know.
Yeah, and whenever she was literally, I was going.
Alright, that was the worst moment on TikTok. Ashley Trevino full podcast that was posted 2 weeks ago on Kamia's YouTube channel. Shout out to Kamia for doing this, and I'm sorry, when she gave her the rose toy, I lost it. I was like, no, she did it. She got her some gifts. She gave her, her favorite chips, her favorite dip, and a rose toy. So yeah. Thoughts on the podcast? I think personally, Ash lied a lot about a pretty decent amount of stuff. I feel like she really did lie. You can kind of tell with the way that her eyes kind of were she would move to the side or get really squinty, I feel like she was not 100% truthful with everything, and I feel like there was a lot more that the kids wanted to speak on, but was scared to speak on for the sake of what their mom may do behind scenes, or some type of punishment from their mom, something, I also believe the kids were a little bit nervous to be there, but also glad to be out of Ash's house and, with that little bit of freedom that they had to talk to Kamia. With that being said, Kamia is a very sweet person. She did offer to buy the beds. She paid for the hotel. She, did everything, I just feel like Ash was, I don't think Ash is ever going to change. I think towards the end, when Kamia was having her do that apology, I feel like Ash only did that because Kamia wanted her to, and Ash knew it was probably the right thing to do, but at the same time, she didn't really feel sincere with the apology, because you could tell in her face because she was smiling. You don't really smile like that during an apology. So, I think Ash needs help mentally. I believe Ash needs to get in and see a therapist. I know I probably don't have any room to talk, but I feel like Ash also needs to leave her kids off of social media. If her kids want to be on social media, let them do that on their own time since they have their own accounts. Don't tell everybody your personal business. Stop going live while you're drunk, or people are going to keep having that that view that you are this alcoholic mother who doesn't give a shit about their kids. So I feel like that's where a lot of play came in with people saying she's an unfit mother. She did explain that, her kids tell her, she says her kids tell her this. There's no actual proof that she's not an unfit mother, but at the same time, you're going live, you're fondling yourself off screen on live. Like, we can hear your Rose toy in the background. Your daughter was throwing up. I seen a video like your daughter was throwing up. Ash, if you're watching this, I would love to bring you up and talk to you. I'm sure my viewers would also have some questions for you as well. It's just the matter of the fact, why did you do this stuff on live? What made you want to, one of my questions is, what made you want to start going live while drunk? What made you want to start dating these inmates? What made you attracted to 19, 18-year-olds and 22-year-olds? What do you see that the rest of the public eye does not see?
All right, dude.
Because for a lot of people, we see the age difference. We don't see, and I think a lot of other people look at her and they're like, oh, she's too old for this person. But at the same time, we also need to hear from the people that's dated her. What did you see in Ash? Like, why did you want to date Ash? Was it just for the clout? Or did you know who she was? Do you like her as a person? Like, who is she behind the camera? Like, I want to see Ash Trevino raw, unfiltered, sober, with actual clothes on, not a shirt that does not have, I don't want to see her wearing this. I don't want to see her wearing this because I can see her cheeks from the side. I don't want to see her wearing that. She has kids. You got to think about your kids. Your kids are still teenagers. Don't be dressing like that around your kids. Tank tops are fine, but that's not a tank top. There's nothing right here. There's just so much to unpack. I'm going to put up a few more, shorts and stuff. I feel like doing a podcast with Santos and Ash. I'm not going to bring her daughters into it. Would be great having them just talk on my thing. I'm doing okay. How are you? I am going to try to find... there's one right here, the full podcast with Santos. We could watch that as well. That was done 16 hours ago. It's brand new. So yeah, only it's already got 1 million views. So she also pulled Santos in and did but I am going to look at some shorts of Ash Trevino. We have this.
Why am I with all these guys right now, though, bro? Legit. I'm in relationship with my bitch.
Literally, so, literally hang on.
All these guys right now, though, legit.
She's bent over, twerking on the guy in the background. That guy is 16 years old. He is 16 years old. These are minors that she's twerking on in this video. How is she not ashamed of this? Why are you not ashamed of this? What makes you think it's okay to do this to minors? You have kids their age as well. So that is, you know what I mean? That's just say, what would you do if, so Ash, listen, what would you do if someone my husband's age, he's 42, right? What would you do if my husband came on to your kids knowing they're 15, 16 years old, the same age as the boys that you were just twerking on in this video? What would you do? Would you think that's perfectly fine? Because it's not. It's not. You need to stop.
to fix this hair.
Here's another one of her crying because Santos ditched her on Christmas.
Alright, dude. Go trip over a knife.
Like, if she's so upset and crying over Santos because he ditched her on Christmas, why would she still be live filming that if she didn't want that attention? Like, I guess she was hoping to get something out of it. I don't know. I feel like even when she was talking to Santos, you know, it should have been, like, left in private. I don't know. And she's making her kids uncomfortable on live and everything. There's just so much she could have prevented all this hate towards her, I feel like. Or at least the majority of it. What are y'all's opinions? Is where that she's with younger kids? Yes, definitely. It is definitely weird that she's with, you know, especially because they're the same age as her own kids. Like, why? I don't understand why people do that. There's so much to unpack about her. It's just, oh. Exactly. She does. And she doesn't really have any accountability to that either. So, yeah. She could have not put her kids on social media to begin with. Her kids have their own platforms. If they wanted to be on live or wanted to be in the public eye, they could have done it themselves without her putting them in that position of them feeling uncomfortable and now targeted, and now everybody knows who they are and is approaching them in public and stuff. That's not safe. I mean, she definitely was not thinking about her kids' safety. She was more or less thinking of herself and clout and the fame coming with it. I feel like she lied in that podcast that, you know, there was a moment she was like, I wish I could go back to how it was before then. No, you don't. Because you literally contradicted what you were saying because you're like, oh, the money. Well, at the same time, if you went back to the way it was before, there would be no money. Literally, people are paying to see you as a mess that you are. You made that reputation of you're a messy, unfit, drunk mother. That you did that to yourself by going live, drinking on live, doing provocative, inappropriate things on live. You put that image in people's heads. We're assuming nothing. It's just you made people believe that that's who you are. If you want to have people to have a different opinion of who you are, you need to show what you want them to have that opinion of you about. Like, if you want them to think you're a good mother, show you being a good mother. If you're going to show your kids, show you being a good mother. Do not show your kids, you know, like if your kids are sick. That video pissed me off so much. I tell you, her daughter threw up and all she could do was laugh and dance about it. Like, she really didn't care that her daughter was throwing up. And it's like, hello. And then her daughter burnt her hand. And, you know, it took the hotel people to bring a fucking first aid kit for her to do anything for her kid's burnt hand. Exactly. Like, Don't take your kids to a bar, period. Don't do it. If you're gonna go out to a bar, leave your kids at home. Find someone to watch your kids. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, the grandparents, it's probably best that they're with the grandparents. It was probably best that they were with the grandparents. Right, but if I was in their kids, if I was one of her kids, I would not want Ash as my mother. Simply put, that's just because of stuff I've seen online, and it's just, I don't know, it's a rough topic. I don't believe anybody's mother of the year. I think mother of the year shouldn't even be a thing. So moms have their own way of how they want their kids to be raised or what they want for their kids. And everybody's way of parenting is different. Whether it's from afar, whether you have custody of your kids, whether you don't, you're still a mother at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Now, me personally, my kids are nobody's concern. My kids are of nobody's concern. Do I have custody of them? No. But I chose to not have custody of them because of personal situations that I was dealing with that was unfit and not safe for me to have kids at that present time. So, do I know where my kids are? Yes, I know exactly where my kids are. I know who's raising my kids. I know that my kids are fed. I know my kids are healthy. You know, I do not put my kids on live. No, I would never. My stepson, he has his own account. I haven't even told anybody what account was his. If my stepson so chooses that he wants to try to do the TikTok fame thing, or, he comes and visits us and he wants to be on my live, then, that's on him. I'm not going to physically sit there and say, hey, do this live with me. I need this fame. But I know exactly where my kids are. I know who's taking care of them. I know the school that they go to. Like my kids, they just went through a thing. They had some idiot was going around with a gun to all the schools. So every school was shut down until it was, so their adopted mother took them out of the school for safety. Yes, it was by my choice. I had the opportunity to get my kids back. If you want the full story on what happened, because it does include my mom, I can let you know. I can tell you right here, right now about my kids, but I'm not going to, try to make you feel sorry for me. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. Everybody has their own opinion at the end of the day. Adoption and CPS is a huge thing, and a lot of people have this bad thing with CPS. I am 100% still a parent. Even if I do not have custody of my stepkids, I do not have custody of my kids, I am still a parent to them, and I still, at the end of the day, gave birth to them. I didn't give birth to my stepkids, but I still parent them like they are my own. Whenever their mom lets me know that something happened, I give advice like, hey, he should be grounded for, whatever. And, she can either take that advice or, most of the time she'll be like, hey, that's what we're going to be doing. Or that never works, what can we do? I co-parent from afar. They are in a different state. It's called co-parenting with my husband's ex-wife, who does not have custody either, but she lives with them. But you guys don't know what happens behind scenes. All you guys know is what I choose to tell you and show you. So Like I said, it's the same thing with Ash. She chooses to show you and tell you her being a bad mother. So you're going to have that thing of her being a bad mother. I've chosen to tell you my story, and, you know, I've had a rough past. I have a really bad past, but yeah. Me helping my kids financially is none of your concern. I do not have to tell you guys whenever I send my kids money, whether it's my stepkids or my biological kids. I do not have to tell you guys when I'm sending them money. I do not have to tell you guys what I'm buying for them either. Right, it's not about money. It's about loving your kids no matter what. Yeah, I pulled the plug on my son. Yes, I did. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody else. It's way more than $2, but you'll never find out. Because that's none of your concern. Like I said, it's none of your concern what I do for my kids, what I don't do for my kids, what I give my kids, what I don't give my kids. It is literally none of your concern. You need to be worrying about your own kids and your family, not mine. Well, okay, good for you that you don't have kids. No, it's fine, Kaylee. What he had was awful. Be glad that he's no longer in pain and that he's no longer suffering. Nobody has ever survived with what he had. And it's a proven fact. And I can pull it up. He was at, Kanisha got her baby taken. Kanisha doesn't have kids. I don't talk to Kanisha and haven't followed her in forever. No, congrats to her if she had a baby. I I don't know why you're bringing her up in my life. I'm sorry. I just don't really, I'm not trying to say I don't care, but at the same time, he had ataxia pancytopenia syndrome. It's a rare genetic mutation disease. He was at Children's Hospital Los Angeles until he passed away at 5 months old in my arms. We stayed there for like a week before he passed away. We were in a shelter, a family shelter, because we were suffering homelessness. I was around, I want to say 3 months pregnant when we finally got into the shelter and off the street. The shelter was located at La Cienega Boulevard in Los Angeles, California. It was an old hotel turned shelter, and once I kept having issues during the pregnancy. Like, I put on a lot of water weight. They said I had more amniotic fluid than normal. So that's where I started to have issues, like dressing myself. I started having issues going to the bathroom. I started having issues wiping myself. I started having issues, taking a shower and proper hygiene. My husband, he stepped up, thankfully, to help me with all that. And, because I was going live and stuff, people seen that and they thought it was because of me being lazy. And now, kind of like the same thing with Ash, people have this vision of me as someone who doesn't know.
All right, dude. Don't trip over a knife.
How to take care of themselves, I guess. I wipe myself now. I no longer have all that, amniotic fluid. I can take a shower. But because of my weight, I do still have issues like walking and putting on pants sometimes. Because I do struggle with, like, I don't have a lot of muscle mass. I guess is how you would say it. So, like, I struggle with, like, lifting my legs and stuff. So, there's that. But we winded up staying, and I gotta find, I think it's in my closet. I have the parking tickets. Do you know what she named her kid? No.
Alright, dude. Go.
I'm not talking about Kenesha. We're not talking about Kenesha. Anyway. Yeah. We're not talking about other people's kids. I mean, we were talking about Ashes, but that's because she put it out there. But. And we were reviewing that podcast. That was one of the only reasons that we were talking about Ash. Yeah, they were a part of the interview, so. And that's over, so. But, let me, so I can read word to word, like, what it was, that he had. So ataxia pancytopenia syndrome is a rare genetic disease characterized by cerebellar, I have a hard time pronouncing this shit, ataxia, cytopenias, and predisposition to bone marrow failure and myeloid leukemia. It is caused by an inherited mutations in the SAMD9L gene. So, yeah. I'm just gonna... Hello, how are you? So this is, just to prove to you guys, I'm reading off from the website that is based on the disease that my son had. That everybody seems to think I should have just, continued letting him suffer for the remainder of his life and let him die peacefully. No. He made it 5 months. 5 months. Other names are... the other name to ataxia pancytopenia syndrome is mild cerebellar disorder. I have a hard time pronouncing this stuff, so it's a rare genetic disease characterized by cerebellar ataxia, cytopenias, and predisposition to bone marrow failure and myeloid leukemia. Neurologic features variably include slowly progressive cerebellar ataxia or balance impairment with cerebellar atrophy, and preventricular white matter T2 hyperintensities in brain MRI, horizontal and vertical nystagmus, T2 hyperintensities in brain MRI, horizontal and vertical nystagmus, dysmetria, dysarthria, pyramidal tract signs, and reduced nerve conduction velocity. Hematological abnormalities are variable and may be intermittent and include cytopenias of all cell lineages, immunodeficiency, myeloid dysplasia, and acute myeloid leukemia is what's all included in it. So, and we all know leukemia is cancer. So, the resources for this are a rare source, which offers rare disease, gene variant, So, it's categorized as a genetic disease or a neurological disease and a rare disease. Ataxia pancytopenia syndrome is caused by genetic mutations, also known as pathogenic variants. Genetic mutations can be hereditary when parents pass them down to their children, or they may occur randomly when cells are dividing. Genetic mutations may also result from contracted viruses, environmental factors such as UV radiation from sunlight exposure, or a combination of any of these. If you suspect you may have this disease, you may want to start collecting your family health history, which, if you're my age, you probably don't have it. Can this disease be passed down from parent to child? Yes, it is possible for a biological parent to pass down genetic mutations that cause or increase the chances of getting this disease to their child. This is known as inheritance, which I don't know anything about this because the doctors there said that nobody's lived past my son's age. This is known as inheritance. Knowing whether other family members have previously had this disease, also known as family health history, can be very important information for your medical team. This tool from the Surgeon General can help you collect your family health. They also said it had nothing to do with me and my husband, so I don't understand why it's saying this, unless something else happened within the name. Symptoms of this disease may start to appear from childhood to adulthood. The age symptoms may begin to appear differs between diseases. Symptoms may begin in a single age range or during several age ranges. The symptoms of some diseases may begin at any age. Knowing when symptoms may have appeared can help medical providers find the correct diagnosis and, prenatal, newborn, infant, child, selected 2 to 11, adolescent selected, adult, older adult. Symptoms may start to appear at any time, apparently. So some of the symptoms are abnormal macrophage morphology, which is abnormality of histiocytes, abnormality of microphages. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Abnormal platelet function and any anomaly in the function of the thrombocytes. Abnormality of neutrophils, acute leukemia. On average, it takes more than 6 years to receive an accurate rare disease diagnosis. Many primary care providers may not be familiar with rare diseases, and you may need to see multiple specialists to reach the correct diagnosis, which he did. They called in I don't know how many doctors. However, advocating for yourself with your healthcare team may help speed your time to diagnosis. To combat common challenges, be prepared. Find disease-specific information to discuss with your healthcare providers. Ask for a diagnostic test. Request referrals to specialists. Knowing where to start your diagnostic journey and how to navigate the next steps are critical to speeding your time to a diagnosis. There's not much on this, if I'm being honest. There we go. But, yeah. That's what he had. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much like a form of rare cancer. But they call it at the hospital. They called it like a genetic mutation where his genes divided and something didn't line up. Is what they said. They said it had nothing to do with me or my husband. So yeah, I have his ashes.
Alright, dude. Go trip over a knife.
However, and I haven't discussed it with my husband yet, but I have been wanting to go to a specific place, and I was thinking of discussing it with him, of spreading the ashes there. It's a place here in Greenville. It's like this really beautiful chapel, and I feel like that would be a beautiful spot for his ashes to rest. It's been years, and I think it's time to finally try to it still hurts to talk about it, but I think it would be nice to have that closure a little bit. Yeah, to finally be able to heal from it. Every night when I go to bed, I tell him goodnight. I tell my son goodnight. I know there's probably going to come a time where I stop doing that, and I might not recognize it or realize it until later on. Info on a shot I was talking about. What shot? There's different websites. If you're talking about weight loss shots, there's different websites for it. Let me unmute my TV now that We're not watching the thing. Ow. Oh my god. Okay, I just... No, the flame came back. I didn't want to burn my... Yeah. Jesus, go out. Let me check my... I don't know if I got approved. I've been going through different websites. Now, my insurance does cover it. I guess depending on who I go through, but... GD. I want to study...
Alright, dude. Go.
I want to study, like, zoology and shit. Why did... So I have officially been diagnosed with morbid obesity. So it looks like I was approved. So yeah. Start date is on the 22nd, 2/22/2025. My end date is 2/22/2026. Please evaluate and treat morbid obesity. Referral from internal medicine. I'm not going to say his name. Alright. My visit summary. I'm loading it. Yes! Yes! I got approved for Ozempic. Are you serious? Woo! Yes, I have a prescription right now. Dude, I've been trying so hard to get approved for this. Sorry. I got it. It's a shot. So I have to take a shot once a week for 28 days. Okay, notes. Electronic prior authorization was requested for Ozempic. Can order medication once approval received. Treatment plan, initial visit, GLP-1 prescribed, and lab order. Patient has cleared requirements for. Okay. We'll prescribe 4 weeks of Ozempic. We will start at the lowest dose, and proof of tolerance will be needed every 4-week interval for consideration on dose increase. Please be aware that if your insurance requires prior authorization, we will submit it on your behalf to your insurance company. Final approval of medication coverage is determined by your insurance company. Ooh. Okay, obtain labs. If already done by another prescriber within 6 months, please provide us information that these were obtained. I need a CBC, a CMP, ALC, TSH, lipids, UA, and a pregnancy test, is what they say that I need to get because I'm female, so I have to have a pregnancy test for some reason. Follow-up will be scheduled in 4 weeks. This medicine is used for the following purposes: diabetes, obesity, and weight loss. Brand name Ozempic, generic name semaglutide. There will be a video instruction on how to self-inject. Okay. Pending tests. How do I do these? Yep, insurance provider. So how do I go about getting it? Hang on. Messages. No messages. I have a referral, but it says my appointment date and time was today, and it ends today in 2026. So I'm seeing a nutritionist, but authorization ID 0 visits, so I don't have to visit then? Okay, because trackers. So I'm not sure how to read this referral. It says he referred me to please evaluate and treat. Referral details 02/22/2025 to 02/22/2026. Appointment time Saturday, February 22nd, 2025, but there is no time on it. It says 0 visits under authorization ID. I don't know how to read a referral. And then reason for referral, please evaluate and treat. Diagnosis E66.01 morbid obesity. So, like, what do I do with this referral? Do I have to give it to someone? I'm so confused. Do I just give the referral to anybody, or is it through them themselves? No statements have been published. Messages. No messages received. Sent messages? Can I send a message to him? Hello? They did. Let me see, because they did text me. I don't know if they emailed me. They did not email me, I don't think. Yeah. So hang on. No, they don't. Actually, there's no price on it, actually. But isn't today the 22nd? Like, I'm being seen today. I was already seen then, online. Let me go back to my visit summary, because Diagnosis 1, morbid obesity. Referral organization. Helix virtual practice. Reason, please evaluate and treat. Yeah, they prescribed me medication and it's active. There is no end date. So I guess let me contact. What? They have.